Hey everybody, this is Andrew from T is for Tech, and in today's video I'm taking a look at another one of these types of smart bird feeders. This one is from a company called Lumary, and this is the Lumary Smart Bird Feeder Cam Pro. And as you can see, it's a bird feeder, it's got a camera in it, it's got a solar panel, mechanism for birds to land and feed, right? So I did a video not too long ago with one from NetView called the Birdfly, and this one looks similar to that in just how it works. It's also one of these AI-based solutions, right? So as it records, as it takes pictures of the birds, the app will suggest to you what it is. You know, is it a sparrow? Is it a blue jay? Is it a cardinal? That sort of thing. So really interested to take a look at this one and see how kind of it differs to others in the market that I've seen. But basically do an unboxing, test it out, and just kind of give my review on how it works. It does feature full color night vision, 160-degree wide angle lens, can hold up to 1.8 pounds of bird food, I guess. Micro SD card for recording video and pictures. Has two-way audio, so if there's a squirrel out there, you want to yell at the squirrel, you can do that. IP65 weatherproof, you can do live video, and it has built-in motion detection. And you can go to the website. It's www.lumary.tech or www.lumarysmart.com. But I will go ahead and unbox this, and let's take a look. Now, what I'm not sure about is the actual AI part of this. If that is a subscription or it just comes as part of the app. I will have to check that out because I'm not 100% sure. So there is an app, and the app is, I guess, called the Vico Home app. And I guess that's going to be the one that you use to monitor the camera and the video. Oh, so it does look like there is a cloud storage plan, but I don't believe that that is required because it does have the ability to have a local SD card. So anyways, you get a manual for that. What's in the box? Actually a water box, which is nice. So if you want to put some water there for the birds to drink from. There's actually hummingbird honey boxes, some little fruit forks they call them, and then the perch and all of that. So this is actually kind of nice because it does come with some accessories other than just a perch for the birds to land on to eat the seed out of the bin. You can, have water. Like I said, you can spear some fruit on there. So that's actually really cool. And this is just the overall user manual. Talks all about it. Looks like mounting templates for probably the bird feeder and the solar panel. And this is the mount. So this can be mounted in multiple different ways. There's a bunch of screw holes. There's holes here. I think there's a strap as well if you want to strap this around a tree. And then the bird feeder just snaps on this bottom piece, rotates. I'm going to just take all this out of the box really quick. So as you can see, this comes with a bunch of stuff. This is the solar light white panel, or the solar light panel. Has a Type-C USB, 3-meter cable, long life, weatherproof. And if this is like the other one I've seen before, yeah, it is. It's just basically a nice little solar panel with a couple different ways to mount it. So it is just a regular small format solar panel with a USB connector on one end. And then there is some way to mount this on the wall or somewhere. Kind of like a little mount with an adjuster there. You also have some hose clamps, and these are used if you would like to mount this to maybe a pole. You can fish them through there, mount it to a pole with the hose clamps to kind of clamp it down. That's one option. And then there's some other mounting options in here. There's like a strap that you can use and also weave it through there, tie this around a tree. It's got a buckle on it. There's like a tripod mount sort of thing, charging cable, and some screws and wall anchors. So this is a bunch of mounting equipment for it. And then there's another little bag here. And then in this bag you have the fruit forks that go on there, as well as the water cup. So fruit forks, water cup. These are the hummingbird feeders. So basically what you do here, if you're gonna try to use this for hummingbirds, I don't even think I have hummingbirds by me. I've looked before, I've never ever seen any around. But basically, as you would expect, there's like a little rubber gasket here, and the hummingbird will come, stick his little beak through that thing into the liquid, but then this keeps it from spilling out, right? So, and then you get an extra one in there, and you get the same thing over here. So that's kind of neat. I might try one of these and see, but I don't know if this time of year hummingbirds are even out. It's December in Chicago, a little bit cold. So these might be something I'd have to try in the spring. But then here you have basically the perch part of this. And that just will go on the front here. There's a little screw that I got to get out of the bag and screw that in. So you can have the perch, the water thing goes there, and then these holes are used to mount those different accessories. So that's the perch part of it. And then the camera itself is pretty straightforward. You basically have a motion sensor on top, camera, there's some LED lights. You tilt this down and there's a silicone cover there, but you can get at the kind of on and off switch, the micro SD card slot, USB-C charging on the top. So if you're not going to use the solar panel, you'd have to kind of bring this in every once in a while and charge it. And then that basically adjusts kind of forward and backwards so you can get a good view of the perch and everything. There's some holes here for kind of ventilation or water to get out. So if it rains and there's some water in there, it can leak out the bottom. The back of this has the Wi-Fi antenna and the charging port. So you can plug in the lead from the solar panel there. So that's how you charge it with the solar panel. It has this slot on the bottom, and that's where you'll go ahead and connect this, right? So you slide it in, lock it in place. And then the lid or the roof or whatever you want to call it basically just goes in like this. It snaps in a couple little slots at the top. And this is how you fill it from the top, filling it up with birdseed, right? Put the birdseed in there, lock the lid like that, and then it's protected. So it can rain, it can snow, and it's not gonna get all over the seed. And then the seed will just kind of come down the back into the bottom part, and as the birds are eating it, it kind of fills it, right? So the one thing I'll say, since I do have a feeder like this, like I said, the BirdFi one from NetView, even though it looks like there's quite a bit of feed or food and seed that can go in here, these birds around me, they will devour this stuff, right? So I have to really basically fill it up every other day. And depending on the size of the birds that are kind of in the out there eating, like I've got a couple blue jays that will just go crazy and just devour the whole thing. So, your mileage will vary depending on what birds you have feeding off of it and all of that, of how often you have to fill it up. But the cool thing is, it's pretty quick to fill up, right? As long as you have it in an accessible place, you just kind of come over, dump some more seed in, put the lid back on. I always make sure the camera's clean because they sometimes will get stuff on the camera, and then you're good to go. So as I said, there's a motion sensor here. This is a 1080p camera, so you should get pretty good quality recordings. It has an LED, so you can have an LED at night or whatever if you want to turn on a light. I'm sure that's all configurable in the application and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this thing set up, and then I'm also going to get the camera app set up for it and just test it, right? So get some videos of some birds, see what they look like, And I'll show you some of the outcomes of this as it records some of the birds. So I'll go ahead and do that. We'll jump over to the tail end of this after I get it set up, and I'll show you how I set it up or where I put it, and let's see some footage. So let's hop on over there and take a look.
So the first area I mounted it, I didn't mount it high enough. As you can see, a raccoon was able to kind of climb up and start messing around at night, and he devoured everything in there. So you'll see the next day there's not a lot of seed left. This motion triggered, you can see the little woodpecker to the right there. I have a couple other feeders in the yard, so this kind of triggered because of that bird, but as you can see, it's raining, and what I ended up doing right after this was move it to a different location, which is right next to another bird feeder I have there. This is a red-bellied woodpecker. He was the first one to find it, and he just kind of hung out for a few seconds there, grabbed some pieces, and then took off. And as you can see in the background, there's my little nemesis squirrel. We have tons of squirrels, and they're so mad that they can't get up this post because it does have a squirrel baffle on it. And here's a little white-breasted nuthatch. He kind of comes in really quick and always grabs the sunflower seeds and then takes off. Now, the thing is with this, and the app seems to work pretty well. It's the Vico Home app. I'm running it on an iPhone. Now, the one thing, and I already did contact the company to ask about this, about the AI detection, and it does require an active subscription to their notification cloud service in order to make that work. So I did subscribe. I do have the 1-month trial running right now. And as you can see, this is how it works. And basically we'll highlight the pictures. You can see on the right-hand side, like the little blue boxes around them. And then it says like a bird was found. You click that and it tells you potential matches. In this case, it's high percentage that that's a cardinal. And then, basically you can then click on that and get more information about the bird, kind of like an encyclopedia type thing. So here's a blue jay. It says very sure it's a blue jay. And then when I click on that, it tells you a little bit of information about the blue jay. So kind of interesting if you're into bird watching and you don't know anything about the birds. This does a great job of providing you more information. So that's really pretty cool. So as you can see, this does do a good job. It's recording, all these little sparrows and finches and white-breasted nuthatch and all that stuff that are here. And I think it does a really great job. I do like the overall quality of the video here. I do like the product itself. It's actually really pretty nice. It works well. It's easy to set up and all of that. But yeah, so there's a couple more videos here. There's some finches, some sparrows showed up, and then a little bit more towards the end, I think there's also a northern cardinal that shows up. Now, it's interesting, and I don't know if it's just the birds in my yard needing to get used to this bird feeder, or if it has something to do with the color of the bright kind of orange roof and the perch, because it took them a while. It took maybe, I've had this out there for multiple days before I got any birds to show up, right? So, then once a few of the birds showed up, then they'll all start kind of coming. But I think they may have been scared of it because, like I said, it's right on the same post as another smart bird feeder. And they've been going to that one, nonstop. And they just took a little bit longer to come over and start getting seeds off of this one. But now that they are, they're going to keep coming, obviously, until the seed's gone. And then I have to fill it up again. But yeah, it's really pretty cool. The quality is pretty good. Yeah, here's the cardinal. Now there's a really, really bright red male one, but he hasn't yet come to this feeder. He'll go to the other one. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this, and it seems to work pretty well. The notifications do work on the phone. Now, with the Amazon listing, you can see here this thing runs around $200. Right now, it looks like there is a $50 coupon. So when you put that into consideration for the price, this is a pretty solid investment, I think. If you're into bird watching, if you want to get up and close and see the birds in your yard without, scaring them away and, having to try to take pictures from a distance, I think this thing is really pretty cool. So if you have any questions, go ahead and post those below. I will link to this in the description. This is Andrew from TS for Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.